Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Athletic Brewing Company. I'm with the world-famous Andy Shaver, and this is just Jeff Stanfield.
Just Jeff. He's never going to live that down, is he, Devon?
No, it doesn't sound like it.
Doesn't sound like it's going away anytime soon.
And with us today, from Riverside, California, my friend Devon Vega. Devon, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We're cold, but, you know, we can't all live in the land of fruits and nuts where it's 75 degrees every day.
Yeah, I just got back from that cold, so I feel your pain there.
You went to Colorado, didn't you? And Bo met you guys?
Yeah, so we went this weekend. Man, I think it was negative 22 with the wind chill. And it was damn cold. I had enough gear, but I mean, there's nothing you can do about your fingers and toes.
No.
It was fun. It was good. The birds didn't fly till later in the day on Saturday, probably like 12, 1 o'clock, but we ended up knocking down some birds and had a decent hunt.
Did y'all hunt? Did you go in and hunt at first light, or did you know they knew it was going to be late when the birds fly, or did they not know?
No, they knew it was going to be late. But you know, we were kind of jonesing when we got there. And I just didn't want to sit in the house, so we went and set up about 9 a.m. And then we didn't see anything. We saw snow geese. Snow geese were flying pretty much right when we pulled up. But about 11 o'clock, the Honker started flying.
Now, did y'all hunt a river, or where did y'all hunt at?
No, we hunted on a corn stubble near a river.
Okay.
Where they've been roosting. So yeah, about noon to 1 is when we killed the majority of our birds.
Did Bo fly out?
Yes, he did.
He told me at one time, I said, you've lost your fucking mind. There ain't no way I'd go that there. So that's a long way to go freeze your ass off.
Yeah, well, booking it, I didn't think it was going to be that cold.
Yeah.
And Robert and Brent, who were with us this year with you guys, they just said, hey, if you want to come out. And the flights are so darn cheap. I think it cost me like $120 to fly there and back.
Yeah, you can't beat
that.
that.
No.
Yeah.
No, why not?
Get the fuck out there. And
I guess all big birds too.
No, we actually shot out of the 15 Canada geese we shot. 2 of them were big birds. Everything else were lessers.
I'll be
that
damned.
makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, fuck, it was 85 degrees up ahead of all this shit. So, like, of course that's where all of our birds are.
I just figured the big birds would be there anyways. Would have never left. Did you shoot any specks up there?
No, we saw a few, but no, we didn't shoot any specks.
Were you
15 honkers and 3 snows.
Were y'all covered up with ducks?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
we don't see that here in California. I don't see a group of 500 mallards coming in, and we got a lot of video. And it was even though we couldn't shoot them, it was an experience for me. Seeing that being from here, man, it was unreal. It was just as fun as shooting them, to be honest.
Oh, I bet.
Go ducks working in.
So.
What sucks is when goose season or duck season ends and goose season's going, and you land a flock of 500 mallards, and fuckers are walking through the decoys, and you're scanning looking for a band the whole time.
We actually shot our snows because of the ducks. The snows were following the ducks, and where the ducks would land, the snows would go in there. They didn't want nothing to do with the decoys. I mean, we tried everything, moved everything, and they didn't want nothing to do with it. We had some ducks working us. We were just poking our heads up out of the pit and just enjoying the show. And then we saw some snows locked up, and we actually shot at the snows. We were able to get the snows because the ducks were landing in the decoys.
That makes sense. I could see that. The snows just see this perpetual motion and everything landing, and then they're like, oh, fuck, yeah, that's where we're supposed to be. Those are our kind right there.
Did back home in California, now we just had Kate on with us from Dive Bomb, and he's fixing to go to Oregon March 12th.
9th, I thought.
March 11th and 12th, I thought he said. Well, it doesn't matter. In March, they're going to go shoot. He's going to go shoot speckle bellies. Do y'all have a late season in California too?
So, Southern California, our extended snow goose season ends on Sunday. We just got done with our junior hunt weekend, which was on the 6th and 7th, I think, or 7th and 8th. And then in California this year, they introduced a veteran and active military hunt throughout the state on all the refuges and everything this past weekend. So in between those, they did an extended snow goose down in Southern California, and then it ends Sunday. Up in NorCal, they could shoot specks and snows out of the closure areas of the specks starting Saturday, and I think it goes through Wednesday.
That's very cool. That's very cool that they did that for the veterans. Maybe California's not all bad.
No, it was really cool. A lot of the guys I knew had a good hunt too, because we're getting that reverse migration pretty solid right now.
I just saw a story before we went on here that let me see if I can find it again. I think it's Santa Clara. Oh fuck! There it went. Let me look. Santa Clara has a 6'8", 220-pound transgender.
Oh, the woman?
The dude that's playing for fucking basketball.
He's 52 years old too.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't hear about that. Yeah, Santa Clara Community College. He's 6'8", 220, ex-Navy. And if that motherfucker's if he's not scoring 100 points a game, they should just kick him out of kick him out of the league.
He's 52. But he's 52.
But still, he's playing against a bunch of short girls. He's 6'8".
Well, I'm not saying they shouldn't dominate. I'm saying he's 52 years old, but still. We come to a place in America where some motherfucker's going to take him to the prom.
Is there anything that shocks you out there anymore?
No, honestly, man.
Nothing.
Not at all. It's kind of sad, but I've complained so much and heard so many complaints. It's at the point where there's no use. Honestly, they're not going to listen to us.
Right.
And I just kind of keep my head up and take care of my family and do what I love to do. And there's nothing I can do to stop what they're going to do. So
that is
what it is at this point.
Amen. We the people have no voice anymore. Might as well just do yourself and be happy about it. But how often do you see a transgender person? Because living in Knox City, Texas, I don't ever see any. We've got a couple people that are kind of confused here, but we don't have anybody that's transgender.
So I work out in L.A. a lot, and when you get out to Hollywood, they are everywhere.
No shit. See, I just can't believe there's that many of them.
They are everywhere, and you know, you can look at them and just know, but I don't pay no attention and just do my job and go about my way.
I had one come into court one time, and come in and saw me, and was very, very nice. And got up and shook my hand like a fucking lumberjack. I'm telling you. Because I didn't know to shake hands. Grab a man's hand, you shake it. A woman's hand, you just kind of grab it, and just kind of.
The fingertips.
That motherfucker, he fucking reached around and grabbed the shit out of it.
Trying
and
to
stuff.
hurt you.
Yeah. And that's the only time I've ever had to deal with one professionally. Tony had a date one time, but I think it was really a woman. We just weren't for sure. She just wasn't very pretty.
Hey, have you seen that Netflix documentary on the Cecil Hotel?
No.
It's fucking crazy. So this Asian chick, I don't know if I can. Well, she's not even. She's from Vancouver. I don't know what you can say anymore.
She's Canadian.
She's Canadian, but she is of Oriental descent, Asian descent.
I think South Pacific is what you're supposed to say.
Fuck, I don't know. I can't do this. I can't do the fucking PC police. Anyway, she goes to the Cecil Hotel and she comes up missing. And I didn't realize that this hotel is like known for its fucking debauchery, and I mean they got. I think.
What's the name of this show?
The Cecil Hotel.
Is the name of it?
I think so.
I saw the previews of it, but I didn't know what it's called. Because shows her standing in an elevator on the.
Yeah, she's like standing in an elevator, and then like it's like a 4-minute video, and like it goes into like the history. I'm sure you've been past the Cecil Hotel. It's in a shithole part of town.
What are you trying to refer?
It's right off Skid Row.
You think Devon's in Skid Row?
I'm sure I'm sure living in L.A. his entire life.
There's a lot of Skid Rows.
Past. No, like this is the official Skid Row.
You know where this is at, Devon?
I do. I actually have a couple jobs, or done a couple jobs down there, being in construction. I'll be honest, I don't know too much about the Cecil Hotel. Really never heard of it, to be honest. But I have been to Skid Row, and it is. I mean, it's nothing like you've ever seen. Pictures don't do it justice.
So there's an actual neighborhood called Skid Row down there?
It's called Skid Row.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a band from California and just a name for a bad area.
No, like they've even got like a fucking sign.
It's a bad area. It's in LA, but everybody knows it as Skid Row.
Where's it at?
Downtown.
It's in downtown Los Angeles.
Is it just a big homeless encampment?
Yeah.
Huge.
And it's right outside. Well, it's outside of something. I can't remember. But, like, anybody, that's where they drop off people. Like, if you're getting out of the insane asylum, you just you go right down to Skid Row.
So when we went to L.A. and I wanted to go see LBC in Compton, I thought that was a bad part of town.
All you had to do was say, take me to the Cecil, and it's about a block around the corner.
I'll be damned.
But, so basically, the Cecil Hotel was just a shithole during the 80s and 90s. And rent is real low, and, like, the upper part of it is, like, long-termers, and, like, you can stay there for a week for, like, $40. So, like, that's where these people would go to. Anyway, they rebranded the Cecil Hotel, and they called it Stay on Main. So, and I guess California, being the laws that they have out there, they couldn't evict these long-termers because they had nowhere else to go. So they rebranded it. Certain sections of the hotel were going to be Stay on Main, and then the top part was going to be the Cecil Hotel, where all the degenerates stay. And they said basically, like, she didn't realize what she was getting into going to the Cecil. She didn't realize that Skid Row was going to be, a block away, and, like, she just got into some bad stuff.
And she disappeared.
I'm not gonna ruin it. But yeah, basically, like, L.A. was more than she could handle coming from Vancouver.
Oh, wow.
So, but I, it's just crazy. L.A. I've never been there. It's got a lot of fucking history. Not all good, but I mean, it seems like an interesting place.
It is. A lot of cool stuff there. Hey, Devin, tell us this. What's it like living in the L.A. metropolitan area? I know you live a little bit away from there. The guns and stuff, do all your neighbors, are they scared of you because you have guns, or are there more people like you than we realize?
So where I live in Norco, which is in Riverside County, everybody is like me. Everybody here, when Trump was running for 2020, every house had the flag.
That's
now,
crazy.
Right outside of here, Corona, Eastvale, Riverside, it's the opposite. But literally, Norco's called Horsetown in California. Literally the only one left in Southern California. There's a couple, but very right wing here. So I've kind of feel in place here. But I lived in LA. I lived right near LAX for, 3 or 4 years because of work. And people looked at you differently. I'm cleaning birds in my front yard. All the time, nasty looks. But I never change what I do. I'm the same person, and if you don't like it, you don't have to. You don't talk to me. I don't care. I can hurt my feelings.
Right.
We have a lot of clients from the Los Angeles area, and every one of them is just a super good person. I mean, good guys. And I tell people all the time, because I always talk trash about California, and I was like, man, they got so many good people there, but everybody forgets that 6-7 million people in California voted for Donald Trump. I mean, It's not like he just had a few votes there. He's got a big following there. And they believe the same America that we believe in. And if you watch a TV show of California in the 60s, California's just like everywhere else in middle America. And it just kind of got overran by everybody moving there because of the weather and their liberal beliefs. But what a beautiful place. I mean, what a cool place. So what's the hunting like? Did you have a blind that got burned up this year?
I did. I'm part of a duck club in the Prado Basin, which is also in Riverside County, about 15 minutes from my house. You can have some good hunts there for sure. For me, it's 15 minutes from my house. I could take my boys whenever I want. So we set our blind. We joined it. This is our second year, going on year number 3. And we had, obviously you guys know, we had fires like crazy over here for months. And one of them started right by the river. And I was actually hunting that Wednesday afternoon, and I saw the fire starting, and just kept hunting, realized it was still far enough. Left that day, woke up the next morning, and the club manager called me and says, "Hey, man, your shit caught on fire and everything burnt down." Oof. And so we lost an A-frame, a panel, and like 4 dozen duck decoys.
Sheesh. Like who? What else was taken in this tragedy? I mean, I'm sure everybody lost something. I'm sure that has something down there.
That one was kind of away from the houses, but 3 blinds, the ones that were along the river, like where mine's at, they were all gone. And for us, we didn't build a blind. A lot of guys build, put a lot of time and money into those blinds. We just run the A-frames, and they lost everything. I mean, down to nothing. When we showed up, I think we bought 2 dozen of the flocked head mallards this year. The avians, like brand new, used them twice. They all burned.
Sucks.
They were gone. Plastic. Found some of the A-frame, but it was actually right before, 2 days before I went out to hunt with you guys.
That's
just cut our losses.
Sucks. So what started that fire?
Homeless is what they think. The homeless were starting a bonfire and started catching the trees and stuff on the river on fire.
Now, is that the Santa Ana River?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm looking at this right here. We're on the map, kind of just trying to look this up. On the Santa Ana River, how big a river is this? Is it run pretty? Is it deep river, shallow, wide?
No, for the most part, it's shallow. It could get wide in certain areas. So where I'm at is Norco. So you can look right in there, and then you'll see the Prado Basin, which is supposed to be preparing us for the 100-year flood. So when we get a ton of rain here, what happens is they back up all this water into the basin, where these guys that are down in the bottom near what they call the 71 freeway, their blinds are underwater. They lose everything almost every year.
When it rains?
The Prado area, is that where you're hunting at?
Yep. That's it.
And I see all them water deals and stuff. Now, how the frick they got homeless people out there? Is this all neighborhoods surrounding it, or?
Not where, kind of by where we hunt. Yeah, Norco is there, and but down by the river, that's where a lot of the homeless people can live. Well, not can live, but they do live there.
So you get homeless people right by your duck blinds?
No, I mean, they're on the other side of the river. They won't come over there. All they hear is, it's right, Rahagas is where I hunt, and it's also a shooting range. Ain't nobody going over there.
Hey, there was another Netflix documentary, not to drag you down to this, but it was about the Night Stalker.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking creepy. But Jeff was saying in the 60s how L.A. was kind of this, this Midwest type feel. Fuck, when that guy was going around, there were people in L.A. that said that they weren't going to lock their doors because that's not the L.A. that they knew.
Right.
And he was in the 80s, I think it was, Jeff?
Yeah, in the 60s and stuff, L.A. was just like any other big city. Crime wasn't going around everywhere like it did. I mean, it's not like the world's completely different it was 20, 30 years. How old are you, Devin?
I'm 33.
Yeah, he's my age.
You're pretty young. So you graduated in 06. Yeah, your mom and dad, you grew up in L.A., right? Or in that area?
Yeah, well, Orange County, south of L.A. is where I grew up.
I'll bet your mom and dad have told you where they grew up and it's completely different than what it was when they were there.
Yeah. Well, my mom and dad are they're only 51.
Okay, they're younger than me. Well, still, they're parents then. But still, when they grew up out there, it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't like it is now. You didn't hear about things really bad happening. It all started with fucking OJ.
Oh, OJ started it off.
Yeah.
So how was your duck season?
Well, Charles Manson probably is the main culprit.
Yeah, we forgot about Charlie Boy. How was your duck season as a whole down there in Southern California?
Honestly, it was, if I had to explain it in one word, it was weird. It was November. We're usually pretty slow. November was pretty good this year.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me, and I know for some others. And usually last 3 weekends of January, it's just, it's fire. And it was good, but it wasn't the normal that we were expecting. And got my birds. I had no problem shooting limits, but it took a lot more work. It took all day for the most part. And then I would find something that had, 500 or 600 ducks on it on Friday afternoon while I was scouting, and got lucky and get it the next day, and nothing would come back, like nothing. So I think a lot of it was inconsistent, where one area would be holding birds one day, and then you go the next weekend, they're not there anymore. They're in an entire different area. So it was really hard to pin down exactly where you wanted to hunt along the refuge.
Did you have a lot of weather that might have been moving them, or was it a pretty mild, was it a mild winter?
It was a very mild winter. We had, I think the second week of January, it was 85 degrees.
Whew.
It's about the same here.
That's about that's kind of what it was here.
Yeah.
It's miserable.
And then it cooled down, and I did well. I shot a limit, but like I said, I'd hunt one area in the morning and realize that shit, I got to make a move.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would move to a different spot and do better. Just phone calls and people telling me, hey, they're shooting up here. So I'd move to the north end of the refuge. Did the best latter part of the season. So it was a good season. I think I averaged almost 5 birds a hunt day.
That's good.
So that's pretty good hunting. A lot. I definitely had to work harder though. No doubt.
What's your pintail limit out there?
Same one.
Yeah, that sucks. And I'm assuming y'all are covered up with them also.
Covered up. And I had one hunt. I got out in the afternoon, and I actually shot a spoonie. He came right in. First thing, about 1:30, sat down. Spoonie came in, shot him. My dog picks it up, comes back, and there's pintail everywhere. I already know I'm going to take my pick of the litter.
Mm-hmm.
And my dog comes back, gives me the bird, and all of a sudden the wind started picking up. She lifts up her nose and takes off. I'm like, shit. And I'm trying to call her back, and she won't come back. And right along the edge of the dike, we hunt off of dikes, levees. There's like 4 foot, 5 foot thick of tules, not too thick. Next thing you know, she came back. She had a freaking a wounded hen pintail in her mouth.
Oh, no.
You're done.
That was it.
That was
I
it.
was done.
Congrats.
And I got videos of just monster bull sprigs, 10 feet from me all afternoon. And I just kept looking at my dog like, God, I mean, it's great. Obviously, she's a great dog, and she got a great nose, but damn it. And that's not the first time, and definitely won't be the last.
The pintail numbers have to be skewed. I'm like right now in front of the lodge, we are froze up and ice up. Tony's water hole, Lake Stanfield, has got 2 open water ends on it where he's got an aerator on it and been putting corn out for the deer and the ducks. I bet there's 150 pintails right here, and I think every one of them's a fucking drake. Seems like the drakes outnumber the hens 10-1, but it's loaded here with them. But we've had pintails. That's all we've had all year long, and they're like everywhere else. They're smart as hell. Circle 1,000 times. Do y'all ever hunt anywhere along the ocean?
I don't. No, I don't even know. I know in San Francisco Bay they do. Me personally, I don't really know if there's anything down here in SoCal where we can. Because, I mean, you go down the coast from LA to Huntington Beach to San Clemente, everything's all houses. And there may be. I could be wrong, but not that I know of, no.
It's just I still have such a hard time wrapping my head around that they're fucking duck hunting in Southern California.
He's in L.A. How far is Disney World from you?
I don't know, 30 minutes.
30 minutes away from Disney World.
I can't. It's just so it's so awesome that
killing birds from the happiest place on earth, 30 minutes away.
It's fucking crazy to me. It's awesome. I mean,
we're small. I mean, like I told you guys on the last podcast, there's only 2 refuges, so everything's condensed. We got the one refuge, everything's around it. And we got another refuge down by the Salton Sea, everything's around it, and that's it. That's all we got in SoCal. But you do it long enough here, you're gonna get it.
And y'all have got a lot of hunt clubs there too.
Yes, we got a lot of clubs.
Do they let them? I know how the fucking liberals are out there, but I'm assuming, are you allowed to put well water out in flood areas, or is that a big no-no?
No, you are. You can flood.
Well, you could sure fucking make some areas out of there.
Mm-hmm. What was the coldest day that you hunted this year?
Oh, man. Honestly, maybe 40, maybe, in the morning.
It was colder than that when you were here.
Yeah.
And we weren't cold this year at all.
No, we got all of our cold weather last week.
It was maybe 40. It was never more than a sweater and a vest. I can tell you that.
That's just crazy. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of you. Have you seen all the shit going on down here with the power outages and stuff?
Yeah.
What a fucking bungle. The only state that could do this bad would probably be California. And Texas is right on up there with it.
I'm happy. I got WAP at my house. Water and power. I'm in good shape.
We were out of power yesterday at my house. It's fucking.
What did you guys do? Just fire and
by the
fire?
I've got a gas log. I've got a gas log fireplace, so we had that going. It wasn't uncomfortable. We got through it okay, but Just
With
like,
day 3 or
geez.
4, it would have got old.
Jay,
wouldn't it have?
yeah. There's pictures of apartment complexes where the water lines froze, and I mean, there's just fucking water going everywhere. There's a video of Buffalo Wild Wings. The sprinkler system above them froze and busted, and it's a fucking mess down here in Texas.
I was lucky. We didn't lose anything. We lost water at the lodge on Monday, and so we haven't had any water at the lodge. Tony's got everything cut off, so when we turn it back on, hopefully we don't have a lot of leaks. But man, I'm telling you, there are people that have been without water, with water, power, no heat, no nothing for 4 days. I mean, for 96 hours and stuff. The construction guy's going to be making a whole lot of money in Texas over the next 6 months.
Yeah, sounds like it.
You ought to come down here. Business is booming, Devon.
Sounds like it's going to be for sure.
Are you going to stay in California?
No, we're down to 3 places. We're going to move out of here, but with my wife, she's a nurse and she's a COVID nurse. She's respiratory, so she's making very good money right now. So we're just going to kind of stick it out. You know, might as well. What are your
choices? What are your choices of places to go to? Can I let me give you my not advice, because I've never moved or I hadn't made no big move, but I would look at Idaho, Montana, or Wyoming.
So we got Idaho.
There you
go. Colorado.
That wouldn't be on my list.
Arizona.
That damn sure wouldn't be on my list. That's too close to John Manny Manuel's fat ass.
Arizona, because a lot of my family's moving out there. In Prescott, which Prescott's a really cool area. So it's about maybe an hour and a half north of Phoenix. But that's one of the reasons is because a lot of my family's moving out there.
That makes lots of sense.
It's when you have 3 kids, it helps, you know, and you want them to be around their family and grow up around their family and their uncles and everything.
Yep.
So we'll see. It's still at the very early stages, but Idaho to me is probably the most intriguing.
That's where I would go. I'm not going to lie to you at all. Man, I've got friends of mine that lived outside of Boise, and they loved it. Absolutely loved it. Man, there's a lot of things to do in the outdoors. Pretty conservative state. Just a good place. I love Montana. Now, I've always said I wanted to live up north, but this last fucking week, I ain't so sure about all that shit. Winter would get really fucking old up somewhere with a bunch of snow. The cold is okay.
When I told my wife how cold it was in Colorado, she was like, "Oh, yeah, that might be off the list." I'm like, "Well, I think this is not something that happens all the time, and I know it's cold there, but not negative 22 with wind chill."
Were you north of Fort Collins area?
We were. Where were we? We were like northeast Colorado.
Like, around Fort Collins is really a cool place. Now, I'm sure it's got some miserable winter days, but most of the times it would be really nice. Like between Denver and Cheyenne, Wyoming, up in that area. Fort Collins, Loveland.
Yep.
That anywhere up in there would be really nice.
You're going to have to get a completely different wardrobe.
Me?
No, Devon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No more flip-flops. You gotta go wool and just throw away the flip-flops. It's not going to happen.
I know, man. But the one thing I do love about California, obviously, is the weather, and the other thing is I do a lot of saltwater fishing. You're
going to be a little ways from that in either spot.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that's going to, suck. But obviously, the family's the number one, and we're just trying to see where everyone's going to end up, and where my dad and my stepmom want to end up, and we'll see how it goes.
I had an uncle that lived in Phoenix, Arizona, and he was partners on this boat, and they went out of Mexico and fished somewhere. What's the name of that freaking place? Puerto Penasco, maybe? Mm-hmm. Right south of Phoenix somewhere, and they weren't just a long way from they were in the Gulf of California, but went a long ways. Huh. But I'll tell you what, I would just want to move somewhere where I don't have to lock my doors all the time. And those places are harder and harder to find.
I lock my doors here, Devin, so don't fucking...
I was just going to say, man, I think I'm so used to locking my doors, and I'll not be able to sleep. It don't matter where I live. I'm locking the doors.
There's shitheads everywhere.
Do you leave your keys?
I know what you're saying.
Do you leave your keys running when you go in the store ever?
No.
I do all the time. I leave my truck running. I don't think nothing of it.
No.
In fact, I put a sign on my truck, please steal, but tornado chasing's coming, and I don't want to have a new one before then. So, yeah, I don't worry about people stealing my car or nothing.
Oh, I don't worry about it, but I don't invite them.
No, you're not gonna invite that.
Well, Andy lives by the hospital, and you know how that is. Any hospital districts, you got all your fucking bums and homeless running around there. I don't live that. I live in the poor side of town where everybody minds their own business.
Has things with COVID, have they kind of calmed down out there?
Yes, well, because we got the votes.
No, that's true too. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly that kind of goes away.
And the hospitals did. As much as I'm on the same side as pretty much everybody as far as the numbers being skewed and everything, I do have a wife that's dealing with it every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she's also on the same page with us. But, she's seeing these people die, and there's a lot of them dying. I think 3 weeks ago they had 240 patients, all COVID,
mm-hmm.
and they're down to like 60 now.
Oh, wow.
Now, 90% of those people from 240 to 60, they died.
Ooh. Huh. Did she ever get it?
We both did. I actually got it, I think a week and a half after I got back from Texas.
It wasn't us.
You're the man then.
Yeah.
No. I got it from I'm pretty sure I got it from a job site in LA. We had a job site in LA, and we had to assign like a COVID manager to go through everything with the crew.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was the guy, and I was getting 10 to 15 emails every day of people testing positive. And I got home one day, and Wednesday afternoon, I was sitting there, and I could feel body aches coming on. I go, oh boy, here we go.
Oh.
This is it. So I text the wife. She's like, yeah, you can't. Don't go to work tomorrow. So I had to call my boss and let him know. And so I ended up getting it. My wife got it. She had a headache for 2 days, and that was it. Mm-hmm. She was totally good. So during Christmas and pretty much New Year's, we did what we were supposed to do, and we stayed home. And we couldn't. We have 3 boys. We couldn't send them to anyone mm-hmm. because the odds are they had it.
Yep.
They didn't show nothing. 0.
Not a single symptom.
I had a lot of symptoms, but they were never bad.
See,
they were never bad.
I had it. I got blood test back. So I did have it this winter, but I never knew for sure I had it. One night, I got cold chills. I mean, fucking cold chills. Real bad all night long. And I told a buddy of mine, he said, you need to take some Ivomec. So I've told this story. I took some Ivomec, and I felt better that afternoon. So I never went to the doctor again, but I never had any other symptoms other than I was fucking tired as fuck. And I just didn't know if it was a stress of being a long hunting season and back and forth to Oklahoma and just no sleep at night hardly. I was wore the hell out. But other than that, I never felt bad.
And the diarrhea from shooting your brains out.
Well, that's from Ivomec. Ivomec and burritos do not go together. But they cured the corona. And if you go to a doctor, they're going to give you the same fucking medicine. So just go to Dr. Stanfield.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't do anything. I told my wife, what's next? She goes, nothing. We sit here for 14 days.
That's it.
And I was doing, what is that? Vitamin C packs and stuff every morning. But every day I had a different symptom.
Did you ever lose your taste and smell?
Yes, I did for 4 days.
See, mine's still not back. I can't.
Oh, no way.
No, nothing. Which is kind of a blessing and a curse because now that hunting season's over, I'm home a lot more. And I am wiping some asses here and there. And I'm not smelling anything. I don't smell anything. Like Jameson goes to the bathroom and like he needs the back door taken care of, and I'm good to go. I don't smell anything.
See, I can taste everything. When I was sick, and I guess I was sick, salt was I couldn't put enough salt on stuff.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing I noticed. Now, smell wise, I still don't know if I can smell much or not, but you know, if I fart at the casino and I notice people start getting up around me, I'm thinking that must have been a bad one. But I didn't ever noticed it. But mine was just tired. But you know, I've had ever since then, and I didn't even know for sure I had it, but I just was making sure. But ever since then, I have a little cough every once in a while. But that could be just fucking allergies from here. Because I have allergies every year. Now there's a flu strain going around, and I know some guys that have got the flu, and they're talking about this fucking sucks. See, you know, I forgot all about the flu, and now they've got the flu, and they're running 103 degree temperatures, and they're feeling like shit.
It's crazy, though, that your wife is in that environment every day, and it took you getting it before she got it. And she's around it every day at work.
Right. But she has to wear, I mean, the masks they wear are nothing like what we wear.
Oh, really?
Out in the field. Yeah. She can't, when she's on the floor, she'll go 6 hours without taking a drink of water. They're not allowed to have any water on the floor. Anything. You have to literally go to the break room, take your mask off, and you're only allowed to break the seal like 3 times, and you got to throw it away. So she comes home and her entire face is red.
I've seen those images from the early days of COVID and everybody that's fighting it, and their face is just, they got the indentions where that mask has been riding all day. What was it like hunting at these refuges with COVID? What measures did they put into place?
So they our refuge did a very good job down here in Southern California. I'll be honest, I did not think we were going to be able to hunt the refuges this year.
Really?
I thought they were going to shut it down. And we just followed the rules. And people complained about it. Everybody complained about it. But I just kept telling everyone, man, if we want to hunt, we just got to keep our mouth shut and just wear a mask for 5 minutes. Go check in, wear your mask, be done with it, leave. They only care about when you're at the check station itself and picking your spot and doing your license. Just wear it and be done with it. I mean, it's the world we live in right now. It sucks to say it. I hate to say it, but I want to hunt.
Right.
And I want this place to stay open. The one thing, what they started doing, they started scanning everybody's hunting license.
Mm-hmm.
So I had just got off of COVID and I was dying to go hunting. And I was on I think it was like day 14, literally like my last day. But I didn't have fever, I didn't have any of that. So I was good. After 10 days, I could have went back to work,
right,
technically. So I went and I asked them, I said, and this was prior, they just put it up like 2 weeks prior to that. And I said, why are you guys scanning our license? And he goes, oh, so they can see if someone who has COVID, who took a test, came and hunted, and then we know that someone with COVID came and exposed all of us.
Contact tracing.
Yeah, it was like, so we're going to, if someone, which I'm sure people did.
Right.
If someone did that, it's going to shut the whole refuge down. Like, that's crazy. It's insanity.
That's stupid as hell.
Is that what they said, though? That as soon as we get a confirmation that somebody brought COVID to us, we're just going to shut it down?
They didn't say that. That's just what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
How true it is, I don't know. But it was weird that one guy would say, oh, they're scanning it so they don't have to touch your license. But they still had to touch your permit cards.
Right.
And your day pass or your year pass. So it was kind of weird. Could be false, but to me, I don't think it was. The way the state of California was doing things, man, I fully believe that that's what it was about.
So now, were they going to wait until one of their people tested positive for COVID and then start a contact tracing? Or were they going to, how were they going to find out if somebody that was there had COVID?
Because they I guess because they scanned your license and when you go to take a test, you're on the list.
Oh,
so you can compare.
Okay, so you have to present a license to get a COVID test. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm sure they're just the way background checks on everybody.
That makes more sense to me. I've not done a COVID test, so I didn't know that you had to supply a license.
When you go out and eat out there, do you have to give them the same information?
As far as
being for traveling, like when we were in Boston in October, or anywhere we went on the East Coast, we would have to give them a license or write down your contact info and stuff, and it was all for contact tracing. So if some other jackass went in there that had COVID 3 days later, they could call and track you down.
No,
so you don't have to do that in California. So you don't have to do that in Texas, but in October we had to in Massachusetts. Now it may be different there now,
right?
But every restaurant we went to, you had to fill out a freaking questionnaire, basically. Or not questionnaire, you had to give them your name and your phone number and shit and email, and it was just for that reason alone. Yeah,
like I said, I don't know if it was they scanned the license for that. That's some rumors I heard, and I don't think they're wrong about it. I think that's exactly what that was, and if someone that was working at the refuge did get it, it would have probably shut down for 2 weeks.
I was really looking back now. I'm kind of shocked that all the federal lands were kept open. But we also had Trump in business, in charge all during hunting season. Now that he's not in charge, that could be a whole lot different next fall. I still believe, and I would write this down on paper. If you hunt on any kind of federal lands in the western part of the United States, or anywhere for that matter, and you think you're going to hunt on there with a gun, them days are going to be limited.
What are you gonna hunt them with?
Yeah.
You can bow and arrow hunt still for elk.
Oh,
There's a lot of people big
are
game
you talking
hunting.
about waterfowl hunting?
No, waterfowl hunting, I don't know because it's a shotgun sport, and that's probably coming too. But they're going to try to change it where you can't have any kind of firearms on federal land because them fucking pussies think that you're going to just go kill everybody. If they had a gun problem in our country with gun owners, they would have known about it a long time ago.
100%.
You know, there's trillion rounds of bullets or something they said in this country, right, that have been here.
Right.
So, but anyways, I do believe that, and so it may be different next fall with having Biden in office.
Yeah.
Well, he's already got the mask mandate on federal land.
So do y'all have to wear a mask when y'all hunt there?
Just when you're checking in.
Okay.
But like we said, Trump was also in charge, so I don't know what it's going to look like. Hopefully, it doesn't change much. I mean, you know, our numbers as hunters are already kind of hit a tipping point, so you don't want to see something else that's a deterrent to get people out there.
No, the dumbest thing you see is these fuckers wearing a damn mask on a beach. That just blows my mind.
You have to do it though, don't you, out there?
Yeah, that's what they say. One thing that sucked for us this season is we put a lot of work, free time. I went out there because I'm a surveyor, I went and laid out, me and my uncle went and laid out all the campsites and everything at the campground down at Worcester Wildlife Refuge. Well, they ended up shutting the campgrounds down, and everybody, I don't know, there's probably 100 trailers in there, and we all camp there all year long on the weekends, and you leave your trailer there. We had to pull them all.
Oof.
And it's for the most part, to an average person that drives 2.5 hours, you have to, if you're going to put it on the sweat line, you have to put it in the night before from 7:30 to 10:30. After that, you go find a place in the desert to sleep or something. They will not let you sleep on a state campground. So that really, it did turn a lot of the hunters off. I mean, it made it a little nicer being that there was less guys on the refuge for sure. So, I mean, that was one thing that was nice about it, but no, it sucked, man. Everybody pulling their trailers and just not. It wasn't the same. The nightlife wasn't the same. Hanging out with people that you only see during hunting season.
Yeah,
it sure is nice though. The fewer number of people at places. I noticed that this spring or this past year where we'd go, that places with big crowds, there was no crowds. I thought I could get used to this again.
What a dick.
Why? I enjoy it. It's true.
Fucking country's locked down and they got a quota. Now, we're going skiing in a couple weeks and it's a 25% occupancy on the mountain.
Isn't that bothering you, huh?
I'm not sad about that.
No, it's the same thing. I went to Niagara Falls last year and there was 8 fucking people there. This is great. I'm going to Mount Rushmore next week. I'm hoping there's 8 people there and that's it. I don't want to wait in line to go see history.
Did you see the shit that happened in Tennessee at their refuge at Reelfoot? Where that old man shot those people?
Yes, I did, man.
Why are we bringing this up?
Do y'all ever have, I mean, with all the people that are in California, do you ever have any instances, kind of like that in your experience on the refuges?
So you get a lot of, Southern California is not free roam. So you're assigned blind. So whatever you pick, that's your blind, and the next blind is probably, it depends on what area you're in, 200 yards, 250 yards away. You will get, someone sky busts in, you get fuck yous across the pond, they'll come and kick your ass, whatever. I hear that all the time. I don't even mess with it, man. And, but grasslands, there's a couple refuges that are free roam. I've never heard of anything like that happening. I've heard of like almost fights breaking out at the campgrounds, but nothing ever like that. That's a whole new, when I heard that, man, we're all doing what we love to do. And for something to happen like that, especially to 2 youngsters, that's just terrible, man. It's not good for outdoorsmen. It doesn't make us look good. And not only that, the worst part is those families had to suffer.
Yeah. Because
someone was pissed off about someone hunting another blind. I don't know.
It's tragic. I don't know if we'll ever know exactly what happened. And you know, another thing that's been people forget about is those 2 young men on the Mississippi River that just disappeared. They've never found nothing.
Yeah.
They think a barge now, someone said they think hit them. But those a 20-year-old kid and a 16-year-old kid or something, you know, and they've never been found again. And that's got heart-wrenching. I mean, just a horrible, horrible deal. I mean,
it's a dangerous thing. I mean,
the hunting deal, I don't know what happened, and I'm not going to speculate because there's so many stories still floating out about that shit. But it's horrible to think that 2 people are sitting in a duck blind or 3, and they have a confrontation, no matter who did what, that ends to that. I mean, we all love the same thing, like you said, and there's no life worth that over a hunting spot.
Nope.
I mean, and I've seen people run their mouse hunting too. I'm going to kick. You know, there's a lot of tough guys when they're 100 yards away. But you just, you know, it's not worth it. A long time ago, people didn't do a lot of this shit because someone would slap the shit out of them. And that's our same with our society in general. I mean, there's a lot of people talk a lot of shit on. There are some tough bastards on the internet that would never say nothing to nobody face to face.
Right.
And that's the whole world they live in now, and they just don't think there's repercussions for anything. But man, that's just horrible either way around it.
But I just didn't know, you know, since you are, you know, you're in a blue state and it's a lot of people out there, so I didn't know if you've ever seen or heard anything like that at places that you hunt every day.
Not to that extent, no. I mean, the cussing across the pond, that's actually pretty funny when it's not you.
Look at that dumbass over there cussing for no reason at all.
But yeah, I don't know. Hey, Andy, I saw your boy shot his first bird, huh?
Yeah. So we set up. Well, we actually went to the place where we hunted one day with you guys. Except, so you know where I had to walk around to several times that day. We set up a blind over there, and so we landed 2 speckled bellies, and rest is history.
Nice.
Jeff here. I'm telling you what, for him talking so much shit about how good of a shot he is, he's not showing it in the last couple times I've been out with him.
But I killed a limit that day. Nobody else did. I was shooting a 28 gauge, and I'm going to tell you right now that I didn't. I should have shot a 20 or my 12 because Andy didn't work the birds in tight like I thought he would first. Second of all, I'm going to give some credit to Andy because Andy was dealing with Reese and the dog, and it brought back so many good memories of my dad. God damn it, Jeff. God damn it, Tony. Settle down. Now, I thought my name was God damn it, Jeff, till I got fucking about 3rd grade. And that's what I was getting out of Andy, was just frustrated with Reese and Lou. So it brought back a lot of memories. But I was thinking about my dad with a dog and 2 boys. But it was a good time. But yes, Reese shot his first bird. It was a great hunt.
And then, so I tell Jeff, because I'm going to help my son shoot this bird.
Here we go now.
I said, hold the leash right here. You don't have to do anything. Just hold the leash. That's it. Fucking shotgun goes off, and I hear Jeff, oh, goddamn. And
I thought you were going to kill a bird.
My fucking dog is halfway across the pond with the leash still on him.
Andy's assisting a 6-year-old with a gun on a goose sitting in the water right there at 7 yards. And I expect it to be dead.
And how? Okay, but like the dog is running, he's running amok with the leash on. I was more worried about losing the leash than I was anything else.
Where was it going to go to?
It'll snap off. It's a quick release system. When that one thing gets pulled, you lose it.
Well, I thought that's what the quick release was for. Let him go.
No.
Anyways, Devin, I got my ass chewed out from everywhere. You've been around Andy, and you see how anal he is and nervous he is. Just listening to Andy, could you imagine his ass in Los Angeles? He acts like he's going to fucking Fallujah or some shit when he goes to L.A.
No.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Why?
No, I wouldn't either.
I'm not going to L.A. anytime soon. Not even to see the Cecil.
So, actually, that same day, Andy, my kid at 6 years old, he shot a Drake spooning.
That's very cool.
You getting it mounted?
Yes, it's getting mounted.
Cool.
Was he fully plumed out and everything?
Yeah, it was a nice
good looking bird.
He shot it with the 410, and I got some of that Boss 7s.
Mm-hmm.
And just put one shell in there. And I took him the week before to the range and just tried to get him used to pulling up the gun. And I told him, I said, I stood behind him the first few times at the range. And I said, okay, safety doesn't come off until you pull it up on your shoulder. And man, he got it down pretty good. I was still right behind him, make sure nothing went wrong. So in the morning, he shot at a pintail at about 20 yards up, and he just hit her right in the ass, just behind her.
Yeah.
And then this spoonie comes in, probably like, I don't know, 20 yards out, 10 yards out. And I said, try him. And he jumped up, and I stood behind him, pulled up the gun, and just absolutely rolled that thing. Just lights out. I couldn't believe it. I was screaming. My buddy was with his son, because it was a junior hunt.
Yeah.
My buddy was with his son and another blind down the way, and it was awesome. And the next day we went with my dad. My dad wanted to get a hunt with him. My brother, trip out on this. He was shooting boss fives. We had 2 mallards come in, land the decoys. They got up. He pulled the trigger. Both fell with one shot.
That's
oh,
awesome.
no shit.
So your guy
Shot
did
two
a
in
better.
one shot.
Your guy did a better job than Reese's guy did. That's the deal.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I do. I was there.
He's such a dick.
No, it's for me it was one of the best. It was the best hunt of my lifetime, just because I've been waiting for that.
Yeah.
Just take my boys out and being able to do that with them, and he actually, so he likes hunting, or he liked it, but he just wasn't like fully sold on it,
Right.
to where he would want to come every time I went. Now it's a different story.
That's awesome. And you know what? 50 years from now, that's a hunt you and him will both remember. You'll have hundreds of hunts together, but he'll for sure remember the one where he killed his first duck, and you'll always remember that. I mean,
For sure.
I can remember my first duck. I remember Payne shooting his first duck. I remember Zach shooting his first duck, and I still can't remember Andy ever shooting a duck.
He's always beating up on you, huh, Andy?
Just every fucking chance he gets.
I have to defend. Did you see that Andy's world famous now? Did you know that? The
that's what I heard.
world famous Andy Shaver. I'm just fucking Jeff now, just plain old Jeff. So I got to get my kicks in while I can.
There's a lot of animosity brewing here between the two of us, and it's not from me. It's mainly from Jeff. What about the 2 mallards that you shot? Are you going to get them up on the wall, or are you just going to do the spoonie?
So my dad was there, and my dad obviously jumped about that moment because he did it with me.
Mm-hmm.
So he proud papa. And when he shot it, he says, "Hey, make sure that mallard stays nice." I said, "You gonna mount it?" He says, "I'm mounting that thing for him." So that's pretty cool. So my dad's gonna mount the first duck that he shot with him, and actually we have. I think I might have told you guys. Me and my dad and my family do a junior event where we raise a bunch of money. And we buy a bunch of gifts, and Bass Pro donates, and just a couple other, corporate companies donate money. And we run it all. We do it every year. This is our 6th year doing it. And I had 1 mount donated.
Mm-hmm.
So we're up there. We got, piles of decoys. It's just a ton of stuff to give away. None of the kids pay any money. It's all free. So it's a pretty cool deal. And there was 1 mount. And my 4-year-old, my youngster, was picking the numbers, and my wife was holding the bucket. Well, the mount came up, and I'm telling you, it was not rigged whatsoever.
Get your disclaimer in.
I swear to you, it was not rigged. He pulled it out, and it was my son, Brantley, who's the one that shot the spoonie. He won the mount.
That's badass.
Well, when do y'all do this thing?
We do it at the junior hunt every year.
When
this year we had to do a little different because of COVID.
When does this take place? December, January, November? When?
February. This year it was February 6th. It's always the first weekend in February when our junior hunt is.
Holler at me next year before that is, and we'll send y'all some gear, some clothes and stuff out there to
Okay.
give away for some kids.
Appreciate that.
You bet.
It'll be good.
Well, Devin, I know you're a busy guy. We appreciate you being on here with us. We look forward to seeing you again next year.
Stay safe out there.
Enjoy the warm weather since that little trip to freaking Colorado.
Oh man, brutal.
We appreciate you coming
Right
on,
on.
though, bud. Enjoy that.
thank-
Enjoy that California weather while you can.
I will. Thank you guys for having me. Y'all take care, and looking forward to hunting again next year.
I'll see you in December, sir. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
See you, buddy.
Sounds good. Take care, guys. Bye.
There's a nice deal with those junior kids.
Yeah, it is.
We need more and more and more of that stuff going on. A lot more of it.
Yep.
Well, world famous Andy Shaver, you got anything else to say?
If I did, you would just make fun of me.
No, it's all in love. All in love. Well, as we appreciate everybody listening, check us out
Carson
on YouTube.
Wentz to the Colts.
That's a big move. It's a bold move.
That's a good move for the Colts. It only cost them a third and a conditional second. Now, I did see
$35 million a year, whatever he makes.
If he plays 70% of the snaps or some bullshit, that second turns to a first.
Next year?
2022.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Carson Wentz behind their offensive line, which is really good, if he stays healthy, he will be a really good quarterback. He's been on my fantasy team 3 or 4 years, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not scared to have him on my team 4 or 5 years. I would have him next year with that offensive line. I don't think he's going to throw the ball as much as he does, but Phillip Rivers, the last couple of weeks when the Colts were really good, was throwing the ball a lot. T.Y. Hilton got healthy. They got a good Mo Alley Cox, a pretty decent tight end. Jonathan Taylor's a damn good running back.
Yeah.
They get him another wide receiver, they'll be something good.
T.Y. is getting a little long in the tooth.
He is. I think they're going to try to sign Allen Robinson, I've seen. He's the number one free agent wide receiver. There's a lot of good free agent wide receivers out there. Chris Godwin is out there. I'd be all over his ass in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
He'll probably go with the Cowboys. They need a fourth receiver.
Probably so.
Do you think Dak signs back with Cowboys?
Yes.
You do think so?
Under the franchise tag.
You think they'll franchise him at $40 million? Wow. I don't think they have a choice.
They're going to tag him again.
I think he's got the leverage on them. They didn't make the playoffs without him. And they were 1-3 with him, though. Let's be honest with you. And they should have been 0-4. They never should have beat Atlanta.
Somebody's saying that they would take the kid from Utah over Trevor Lawrence. Multiple teams are saying that
that's because they don't have Jacksonville's pick.
It's a little. I think it's a little head fake, is what it is.
A lot of people think Sam Darnold's going to get traded to the Redskins.
He might.
I'm not Alex Smith. I'm not sold on Sam Darnold, but I think he's 2-0 against the Dallas Cowboys in his career, so that would be good for them.
That's right.
I know he's 1-0 for sure, but I think he's 2-0. All right. Thank y'all for listening. We'll have another podcast out. We'll have a couple of them next week. Thank you very much, and God bless y'all.
Go check out all of our great sponsors. Check out Gundog Outdoors, Blind Grass, Lucky Duck, William Chris Wines, 14 Cattle Company, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, Boss Shot Shells, Lucky Duck, Foul Bandits. They got some swag over there that you're going to need. Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Dirty Duck Coffee, and come on, turkey season's coming up. Come out here and see us.